Here, I'll send it. I'll resend it to your. I'll text it to you.
History of the wing team.
Just a recap of the game.
Of the games they played.
This tonight, yeah.
They haven't played this year.
Not one another.
Oh, I already read this.
Hmm.
Epic battle in Chardon High. The Hilltoppers hosting the Cardinals. 2-9-0 teams. Which one will survive? The wing T offense looking to roll right here at home. But Canfield's defense rock solid. It's tough to score 10 points on them. It's Canfield and Chardon. It's the D3 Region 9 final right here on Spectrum Sports. I'm not kidding. I'm going to say all kinds of good things about your kids. Spectrum, OHSAA, and then Spectrum Sports. Yeah. So the YSN, it's on the radio for them, but they can't do it on TV because Spectrum bought the rights. So what they were saying, I was listening to one of the interviews the other day. They were like, "Hey, watch the game on Spectrum, but listen to those guys." Yeah. I mean, if you want to listen to those guys, just sit right in front of them.
Who's doing the game?
Over there? I just met those guys, so I don't know. Over there? You can watch it on your phone while you're watching the game.
So who's
This is Spectrum.
okay.
Yeah, you can go online. You go to Ohio High School Athletic Association, and then you buy the game there. So we've come a long way. But they can't. They can call the game. They can't broadcast it.
Who's this?
My parents, like all season, they've been watching it at
Yeah.
YSN, and they're going to be looking for that.
So it'll be here. It'll be on OHSAA.
OHSAA.org.
Be ready for a lot of shakers and cowbells, baby.
The pain still grows.
Classic tune.
All right, at some point, I want you to explain the sniffer back.
The sniffer back?
Yeah, because that's out of the wing tee, right? That's
Right.
like a halfback, right?
He's basically lined up right behind the quarterback,
Okay,
and they usually motion him in one direction or
but
the
it's
other.
not an eye, right? It's a little closer than the eye.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
traditionally not. It's definitely not a traditional eye set formation. Yeah, just if I go on to a tangent about the sniffer back, just smack me.
No. I want you to explain it because we were talking about it today. Oh, hey, don't get burned on this. This is 2019.
Where?
This isn't. That's last year. Results from last year.
Oh, you're talking on this?
Yeah, don't get burned on
Yeah,
this.
no, I won't.
All right, let's shut us down for a couple minutes. Well, the ground's already shaking here in Chardon in Geauga County, where it is a beautiful 62 degrees here. And we've got Chardon and Canfield. We've got an epic battle here tonight. The Hilltoppers hosting the Cardinals from Canfield, 2 9-0 teams. One will survive. The wing T offense looking to rock and roll here at home. But Canfield's defense has been rock solid throughout the season. And tonight, they will try to win on the road. The winner will advance to the Final Four. It's Canfield and Chardon, the D3 Regional 9 final, right here on Spectrum Sports. He is Rob Vitale. I'm Andy Baskin. It's a pleasure to be with you. Gorgeous night. I mean, you can't ask for anything more. 62 degrees.
Oh, Mother Nature's thrown us a gift tonight. Not only do we have a great matchup between Canfield and Chardon, just two powerhouse teams and two storied tradition teams, this is going to be a slobber knocker of a game.
Love it. Jonathan Schmidt is the man that will kick off for Canfield tonight. And he can boot the ball. He's got a few nice field goals here throughout the playoffs, and we'll see what he can do tonight. It's a short kick. Chardon will take it from their own 20 and move it out to the 32, 33-yard line.
Very good return. Canfield's kicker just mishit that ball. You can tell he was trying to kick it down to the corner and pin Chardon down, and he mishit it, and Chardon did a good job of fielding and getting good field position out of it.
So here we go. We're going to see the wing T offense. Drew Fetchick is the quarterback, and he can do pretty much anything. Run, pass, he is something special, and we're going to see what he's all about. He's rushed for 562 yards. He's passed for 775 yards, 20 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, you have a dual threat with their running back and the quarterback threatening to run. The real key is going to be when they have to throw the ball, how effective are they going to be?
And that's what they'll do, and the ball will go right down the field and chasing it. Chardon is going to get moving inside the 10-yard line on the very first play of the game.
And my question has been answered. Just a little hitch screen to the bottom of the field, caught Canfield with soft coverage, and he made one move and it was off to the races. I'm sure we'll see Canfield tighten up that coverage.
So that'll bring up first down and 10 from the 13-yard line. 11:45 to go here in the first quarter.
Power run off the left side by Chardon. Even though they run the wing T, it's basic wing T principles, but they will what we call bastardize the formations, and you'll see them spread out a little bit. You'll see them run some unbalanced. You'll see them run three-back sets, but all the schemes up front are basically the same.
So they'll put the single back, man in motion, and they'll roll to the corner, and did he get in? That's the question.
He's
no.
short by about the 1 yard line.
So he did pick up a first down, though.
He's inside the first down marker. So basically what you had was a strong formation to the left, a balanced formation, and you had two receivers to the top side, and they motioned that wing back across to outflank Canfield's defense, and they just ran jet sweep.
James Pettijohn is the man who finds the end zone the most this year for Chardon. 15 touchdowns, number 27 in the backfield.
He's their workhorse. Yeah, he's their workhorse.
So ball is on the 1. Excuse me, 10:49 to go here in the first quarter.
Great opening drive, setting the tone for Chardon.
And we'll get a timeout right away.
We get some kind of miscommunication coming in on the play call. And I'll tell you what, you know it's only family and friends, but this Canfield side that we're sitting on, they're making as much noise as if there are 10,000 people here.
It does feel like it's crowded over here. I got to tell you, the other thing, Chardon has done an amazing job of prepping this this venue, this memorial field tonight to make sure that, you know, not only is everyone safe and socially distanced, but they've done a really nice job. They put tents up. We're on the visitor side tonight, and we're inside a tent, and it's pretty awesome up here.
No, it's a very nice, beautiful setting for high school football. You can't ask for any better. Canfield has got to come up strong here and tighten down the hatches and try and force Chardon to a field goal.
So Chardon with the first real opportunity, a very short drive, nice play to get things moving. One big long pass, and all of a sudden, Chardon is knocking on the door. In for the touchdown.
So basically, it was just the same formation they just ran. They have a tight end and a wing back to the top of the field. They have a slot back and a wide out down to the bottom, and they motion that slot back across the formation, quick handoff, jet sweep, and there's no way those corners and those backers, the way Canfield is playing it right now, is going to fill quick enough. Basically, the whole concept of the wing T is we're going to try and outflank you, and Canfield hasn't had an answer for it yet.
Chardon will put the extra point. Down, up, and did he make it? Yes, it went through.
Just
crossed over a
inside.
weird spot, though. Chardon up 7-0 after the short touchdown run.
He hooked that a little bit and went just inside the upright.
$10:38 to go here in the first quarter. It's 7-0 in favor of Chardon.
That was an impressive opening drive. And like I said, you have two very good offenses. And Canfield's more of a passing threat, even though Chardon opened up that opening series with a long pass play. It was basically a short pass, catch and run. And we'll see how Canfield answers.
Well, and it's unusual Canfield doesn't give up 10 points a game. So we'll see what happens there. In their 9 games, 6 games, other teams couldn't sniff the other side at 10. They only really allow about 93 yards a game, so we'll see what they can do. Wow.
Very stingy defense, and that's got to be a little shock to their system the way Chardon opened up, sending a message and setting the tone.
10:38 to go here. First quarter, Ohio High School Athletic Association playoffs, right here on Spectrum Sports. It's 7-0 Chardon. First drive, short drive.
Let's see if there's any strategy involved in Chardon's special team games here and trying to play a field position game. And he just kicks it straight away.
He'll get it to the corner, though.
Yep.
Out to the 10, 15, and knocked down just short of the 20-yard line.
Sometimes it seems like a lot of work just to get it to the 20-yard line.
It does. Well, it's a lot of north-south. Brock Lowry is your quarterback. He's a sophomore. And, just kind of watching some highlights of him. He's a big boy, plays baseball, too. Probably going to play outfield this year for the Cardinal. Could be a catcher. You want to save his knees, though, don't you?
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. So Canfield comes out. They run more traditional pro sets and power sets.
Logan Torek to the bottom of your screen. Boy, they picked up some, must be offside. They got somebody jumped offside.
Somebody jumped early. Somebody's got the jitters going before that first snap. But Canfield, as opposed to Chardon, has more of a dual threat as far as run and pass, traditionally.
Ethan Fletcher's the go-to guy for Brock Lowry. At least he was last week. 33 catches, 44 yards on the season, I should say. Should be more than that. 10:31 to go here in the first quarter. Brock Lowry is your quarterback. Lowry's going to pass on first down. Fletcher is who we talked about. Pick up a couple. Chardon there for the stop.
Looks like we might have a Canfield player a little dinged up, but basically Canfield came out in a pro twin set, and they motioned into trips and just tried to run this little smoke screen that all these teams run. It's a short, high percentage pass, and you're hoping to catch a seam and go. And they did a good job getting out and getting blocking in front of it, but Chardon did a good job defending it.
10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Chardon up 7-0. Canfield in their white uniforms, and he's going to air it out. Lowry, nice spin on the ball, but just a little bit short and shy of the reception.
And Chardon very traditionally has been, they don't move on defense. They come out in their base 440 defense, and they don't move, and they cover you up, and they play solid, in-your-face, smash-mouth defense. They will attack you. Canfield breaks the huddle and comes out with trips to the top with a split end down below. Single back in the backfield.
9:54 to go in the first quarter. Lowry again. It's picked off. It's picked off. Vince Ferrante.
That was just a bad read by Brock Lowry. He tried to hit the curl over the middle, and that Mike linebacker did a good job reading pass and sinking right into the hole. He never even saw him. Chardon set up in great position to really take a commanding position in this game.
Well, Ferrante is a workhorse on defense for Chardon, and I got to tell you, 23 tackles, 70 total, but a big interception. That'll bring up first down and 10 with 9:48 to go here in the first quarter, as Chardon's going to look to get back on the board quickly. And they do. Close.
He's down. He got knocked out about the 3-yard line, but it was basically the same formation. They're running a tight end wing down to the bottom of the field. They got a tight twin set up top, and they motion that wing back, and they run jet sweep. And again, they're out positioning Canfield's defense at the point of attack, and Canfield doesn't have an answer yet. They got to start getting aggressive off the edges and turn those runs back inside.
Chardon already up 7-0. Drew Fetchick going to run the show. Boy, I can tell you, is he in?
I think he's a little
Waiting
short.
for the signal.
He's a
Fetchick
little
was
short.
looking for it.
The crazy thing about the wing T is, especially Chardon has done such a good job of it for years. And when Coach Hewitt took over, he went back to the old Bob Doyle days, and everything they run looks the same. And if you're on that defensive side of the ball and you're not taught assignment football, specific keys to read, it'll be a long, confusing night for you as a defender. And that particular play, they ran that same jet sweep action and then just did a middle wedge play with the fullback.
Second down, 1 yard to go. Hilltoppers.
And
This time he's in.
That's the poison of the wing T. So again, you'll see you had the same action run, and instead of trying to hook you and get outside, they just kicked you out and stepped it up inside. It could be a nightmare of an offense to defend. You need to have a solid week of preparation.
Nathan Taggart on the extra point. It's 13-0 Chardon. Wow. Canfield wondering what hit him here in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Well, that turnover didn't help them.
Nope. Make it 14-0 Chardon.
All right, so now Canfield needs to regroup, settle down, get back to their game plan, and try and sustain a nice long drive, eat up some clock, and come away with 14-7 disadvantage at the end of this drive. They're flirting with disaster if they have another turnover here or a mistake, because Chardon's offense is rolling, and they need to get some time to get that defense together on the sideline and figure out how to defend this wing T a little bit better than they are so far.
Evan Ash with the touchdown. He'll add that to the one that James Pettijohn had to start the game. And now it's 14-0. 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Plenty of time to regroup here if you're Canfield. But, man, that was a quick move. Here goes our table going flying.
I'm on it. Brick control.
Taggart will kick the ball off here. What a huge defensive play.
You know, and you couldn't ask for anything worse as the visiting team. You know, they're both physical teams. They both have pride, and you just got punched in the mouth 2 straight times in a row. It's very essential that they regroup here and get something positive, and not just a positive drive. This needs to result in some points. Nice high short kicks should be returnable.
Back into the corner. Canfield at the 10, 15, and a big whopping hit right there. And that'll stop any kind of offensive flow.
Chardon has always been a well-coached team. They do the little things right. They make very few mistakes. And when they get a lead on you like this, you need to grind back into the game. Let's see what Canfield's going to answer with, which it looks like they're coming out in a traditional pro-style set, power run set, offset I.
8:54 to go in the first quarter, and they'll punch it up the gut.
And they need to stick with that. They are a running team. Both these teams are power run teams. And even though you might not be getting huge success or huge gains in the beginning, you keep pounding. By the time that third, fourth quarter goes, those 3-4 yard runs turn into 6-7 yard runs.
Michael Crawford on the carry. He'll pick up about 2 on that.
And key right now is you don't want to continually be in second and long or third and long situations.
No. And Canfield was leery of that. They talked about it earlier in the week. Interesting week at practice, too, especially when you consider they had snow on the ground on Monday. Nice move. A little bit of juking and jiving.
Canfield taking a little play out of Chardon's playbook there and running a jet sweep. And they motioned that receiver to the bottom of his wider and saw that corner widen with him to try and create a lane. But Chardon's defense runs very well to the football. And they're going to sit in that base 4, and everybody's going to be covered up. They're going to be solid as far as gap control is concerned up front.
Paulo Papalia on the carry. Makes it 3rd down and 2.
I think we might have had a timeout called before the snap of the ball. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. Lowry would have had the first down, though, on that.
And he would have.
Yeah.
He would have.
So that's another timeout. Where are we at timeout-wise? Both teams have 2 to go here.
Yep.
First half.
Yeah. Ooh, I can feel the tension. This is a huge 3rd down with 7 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the first down in the first quarter already for Canfield.
Man, the last thing you want to do is be down 21-0 here, and you're not even 6 minutes on the clock.
Exactly, and Chardon's running through them like they don't even have a defense out on the field right now. And again, you need to keep your offense on the field and give your defense time to adjust and make some adjustments and slow this Chardon offense down. Coming out in one of their traditional pro spread sets.
3rd down and 2 from the 25. Brock Lowry in the shotgun's going to keep it. Punch through. And whoa! Gets to the 40. Wow, what a great second effort. I thought he was down, man. They had him stopped at the line, and you didn't think he was going anywhere. That's a gutsy run right there.
Yeah, the O-line got a good enough push. He would have gotten that first down, but that second effort, resulted in an additional 8, 9, 10 yards. Gutsy run by Brock Lowry.
A little bit of momentum they need right now.
Again, stick
Just
with your
got to
game.
settle down,
Yeah,
right?
settle
that's
down.
the whole thing.
Settle down. Stick with your game plan. Don't panic. You come away at the end of this quarter 14-7. It's a new ball game again.
Crawford in motion, settles at the top of the screen, offside Chardon. Gavin Sliff jumped just a little bit early.
When you play that aggressive style defense and you unleash those kids and you say go at it, you're bound to get that. Brock doing a good job with a count on going on a 2 count, getting him to jump. Don't be surprised if you don't see that in more situations this evening. Gives them a great 1st and 5, and Canfield so far is choosing to stay in their pro spread sets.
Boy, I like this kid. 6'2", 195, Brock Lowry.
Only a sophomore.
Yep. He'll throw. Almost picked off.
That almost turned into disaster.
Logan Torek had it. Ball bounced right out of his hands.
Ball was thrown a little bit behind him, but it was there. Good play action. Hit that slant behind the play action. It was a little bit behind him, and they're fortunate it didn't end up in the Chardon defensive back's hands.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 5 from the 47. Even if Canfield can just eat some clock here and slow this game down, give the defense a chance to rest.
100%. So we got twins down here at the bottom. We got a split up top with a tight end, and we're going read action.
Lowry again takes it to the 45. So they found something that's going to work.
Well, they're attacking them now. They came out a little tentative at the beginning. So right now they're doing they're flipping the script and kind of doing what Chardon does and saying, hey, your guys got to pay attention to everything. Okay, so they had tight end, wide receiver to the top of the field. They had a tight slot with a split down to the bottom, and they ran that motion, and they just run read action off the motion back. And Brock gets to pick and choose. If that hole opens up, he keeps and goes. If that hole is closed, he hands it to the slot and coming across on the jet sweep motion.
Fakes the handoff, rolls towards the top of the screen, and he'll throw it out of bounds.
Yeah. See that the only problem when you face a defense like Chardon and they have that outside linebacker on that tight slot, when he motions away, that outside linebacker has no responsibility except rush the passer. So now the clock automatically starts ticking, and that route combo that you're running to the front side better show open soon, or you're going to get caught from the backside.
Jake Petro, 18, split out, and they'll run again. Lowry, and he'll be taken down by a swarm of tacklers. Kate McDivitt led the way.
Chardon is doing a very good job of getting rid of that initial block and getting off defenders and rallying to the ball. Chardon's offensive line needs to maintain their blocks a little bit. They're running their offset backs in power formations to get enough blocking at the point of attack, just not sustaining the blocks at present. So now we go to a wide open, empty back set. Trips to the top, twins to the bottom, 3rd and long.
3rd down and 8, 5:24 to go here in the first quarter. Nice little lofty pass right down the seam.
A little short. He's going to come up a little short. Chardon played in a zone across, 4 straight across, and when you have that zone across, you want to take that shallow crossing route and you want to hit it in the window.
And Tony Penenzio
exactly
was right there. Yep.
Chardon defender rallied nice and stopped him short.
4th down and 1. No reason to stop going here, especially down 14-0. Chardon leads Canfield 14-0.
Again, you got power formation now. Let's just be some confusion here. I think we got a little equipment issue on a Chardon defender.
Yeah, I saw they were
now.
trying to fix a helmet.
Shoulder pad was out of the jersey.
First, it looked like a helmet, though. It was, the old "let's snap it up there" kind of thing. Sure, that made a lot of sense. Ethan Fletcher at the bottom of the screen.
So we got a trips to the top.
Rock Lowry.
And we got a tight end.
4th down and 1.
Slot. We motion to quads and we give a jet sweep action.
Fletcher around the corner to the 30, inside to the 29-yard line of Chardon.
Smart play design. Here you have trips up top, so you have their defense spread out. You're going 4th and 1. You're taking your go-to speedy man. You're giving him on a jet sweep. You always got to make one man miss.
Fletcher had a big touchdown last week against Streetsboro. He had 3 catches last week for 72 yards, but that run right there, and a very, very big run for Canfield, just to keep this thing going. And we got timeout. Officials timeout? Nope.
No, we got timeout by Canfield. Yep. Coach Pavlansky is quite demonstrative right now. That's a pretty big
He
word.
said the key to this game was just controlling the line, controlling the lines, especially when you know you're going up against a triple option. He was talking earlier this week about that. And, I wonder when you're down 14-0, what's the mindset right there? Because I think, part of it is you're sitting here, you're in a regional final, and you're on the road, and all of a sudden things moving really fast, especially after the interception.
Yeah, and Chardon, for a wing T team, they do a good job of running tempo at times. They'll get up to the line and go on you, but the mindset is, hey, we can't panic. We're going to get the ball back again, especially with how quick they scored. So let's just stick to our game plan and start establishing some of our own successes.
I think Coach wanted Chris Samarone in there, and he didn't get in. I don't know what happened. That was I saw him waving to him, and he went to go put his helmet back on, started running on the field, and then ended up coming back to the bench.
So you got a tight spread offense here, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom.
Lowry back to pass, standing at his own 40. He's going to air it out. He's looking deep and not there.
And the pressure really didn't affect that, even though he got taken to the ground. And I'm not sure. That looks like, is it a flag on the field? Or is
yes,
that a
there
marking?
is.
That might be roughing the passer.
I don't know that.
Oh, we got a hold.
Yeah.
I'll stay off him for right now.
There you go. Vito's going to talk.
Questionable on that hold. But he just didn't get enough on that ball. He had the route. And caught Chardon in man coverage. And he had what they wanted. He just didn't deliver the ball. But it would have come back anyhow. So this is what you got to avoid on these drives. So you get a hold, which is a spot of the foul hold. And now you're 1st and 25. So again, they're going to come out in a spread formation, trips to the bottom, tight twins to the top.
Lowry again. He'll dive forward just for a couple yards on 1st and 25.
Well, what they were trying to do there is get on a rollout here and get this two-receiver combo route, three-receiver combo route going. But Chardon's defensive end did a good job of slipping under the hook block of Canfield's offensive tackle and forced Lowry to have to cut up too soon.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 26. 3:33 to go here in the first quarter.
Can't panic. You still can't panic.
Canfield has really slowed this thing down after Chardon jumped out to an early 14-0, thanks in part to an interception. Lowry's going to go way back. Good pressure. Wow, big-time pressure.
They were trying to set up a screen, and Chardon's defensive line just read it well. But one of the things that they're doing, that Chardon's doing, and Canfield's got to catch it up, and they catch up to it, and they got to assign somebody to it, is every time they motion it back, okay, essentially offensively what that's doing is it's freeing up your weak side linebacker. He's got nobody to cover to that side.
Right.
So you could just send him on a stunt right now and try and get quick pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what happened there.
Credit Evan Gardner on the rush there. Good pressure on Brock Lowry.
So we got an empty back set, trips to the top, trips to the bottom, twins to the top.
Nowhere to go. Forgot to turn around.
And
Good pressure. It was good to get rid of the ball. You know, you got the receiver running the route, and you know, I just think he saw the wall collapsing on him. So Lowry said, "I better get rid of this thing into an empty spot on the field." And it was a pretty good job.
Right now, it looks like they're not on their offense isn't on the same page, and they're not clicking because not one receiver was running a short route. And basically, what's happening when they go to that empty set, Chardon's just sending more guys than they can block, and they turn it into a race. We're going to get to you before you get the pass off, especially when you get a 4th or 3rd and 20-some yards.
They're going to let this one go out of bounds.
Would like to get a little more yardage on that punt.
Caden McDivitt said, "Get that thing away from me. We got good field position. I don't need to run anything back here."
Exactly. So now this is a huge, huge stand for Canfield's defense. And hopefully they had enough time to make some adjustments, switch up assignments, reassure guys on what their assignments are. Again, because you have to play assignment football against a wing T if you want to have any success in slowing it down.
D3, Region 9 final right here, Geauga County. Chardon and Canfield. Chardon with the ball.
We used to call this a traditional pro or Liz Rip formation, which means you got tight end in the slot to one side and twins to the other. Spread the defense out, and you just run a middle trap.
Yeah, I would think it'd be hard. I mean, you're watching James Pettyjohn, as he kind of loops behind, and the play ends up going the other way. There's all kinds of misdirection in that wing T. I don't know what do you tell your kids?
You got to key your guards. Your linebackers got to key your guards, and your defensive linemen have got to get into their gap and don't get any deeper than heels depth, so they don't get trapped or they don't get kicked out. Same formation, same
Second
action.
down and 4. Big run. Lots of chunk runs coming up here for Chardon, and Pettyjohn comes up with the carry on that, 1st down and 4. Pettyjohn, 41 carries, 177 yards last week against New Philadelphia. He is the all-time postseason rusher for Chardon. Some impressive numbers.
So you're running the same action all the time, and you have the beautiful thing of the wing T is you have one of 4 guys that you're handing it to. And you have a play off of all the same action. You have several plays off of it.
Tight formation. There you go. Pettyjohn will block this time. And look at this, ripping through the hole to the 41-yard line. Go the Hilltoppers.
That's what they opened the drive up with. They ran that jet sweep action. They snapped the ball right when that back is at that center point by the quarterback. So you're an inside linebacker. You have to decide, are we getting jet sweep? Do I try and fly out there on run support, or they run an inside run? That's why you can't look in the backfield. You got to key your guard. You see your guard pull, you got to play the trap. If your guard doesn't pull, then you can get on your horse and try and get over the top and play the outside run.
Sean Carr, number 41, with a nice run on that. And they'll come back to Pettyjohn. Pettyjohn turns the corner, but he is stopped immediately once he tried to get around the end.
Yeah, that's called the old second man through. We take that wing back and we kind of motion him back, and fullback tries to do a lead block, ISO block on a linebacker, and back fouls him Canfield did a good job stuffing that in the hole.
Luke
Short
Rubin
game.
in on the tackle there. So many two-way guys too for Canfield. It's you know, you got all these positions starred when you look at your depth chart and you're like, wow, man, they got a lot of kids that are playing a lot of minutes out there.
Especially if you're on the field defensively most of the night, you're going to get tired out.
Second down and 9. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Big stop. That'll get the Canfield faithful sitting in front of us. Very, very happy about that.
Yeah, did a very good job on a run blitz there. You know, Chardon, even though the action all looks the same, sometimes they don't hide what they're doing. They had 2 backs stacked right over that off-tackle gap, and that's where they were trying to run. And linebacker from Canfield did a good job blowing it up, avoiding getting off his block and stuffing it in the backfield to give a 3rd and 11 for Chardon now, which is the first time they've been in a 3rd and long yard situation.
He's Rob Vitale, the Brush Bullet. I'm Andy Baskin. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum Stream and Ohio High School Athletic Association.org. OHSAA.org. Fetchick. Oh. Close play.
Very
Had it in
close
his
play.
hands, dropped it. Brady Toth.
That was an excellent effort on Brady's part, and an even better excellent part on the Canfield defensive backs to go up and break that up. Basically, that was a single route play, action play, and it was our man's going to beat your man. Rep did a good job letting them hand play. They're both pushing and kind of grabbing at one another. And
Ethan Fletcher back to receive for Canfield.
no reason to throw the flag. Chardon's still running their special teams the same way they do. They make you think over and over and over again. They come spread out, and then they shift, and they close down. They will always make your kids think about where they need to be and what their responsibility is.
2 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Chardon. I got to give Canfield credit because this thing could have turned real quick, real ugly, real fast. And Canfield kind of settled in on defense after, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Pettyjohn with 1, Ash with the other, and Vince Ferrante with a huge interception at the 9:50 mark in the first quarter.
Well, the byproduct of that offensive drive was their defense did get a chance to rest. They did come out with some adjustments, and we had some good plays to stop it because they were getting ripped up on runs in the beginning.
This will end the first quarter. And your score after 1, Chardon 14, Canfield nothing. But Canfield's got the ball.
Canfield came out in a pro eye set there and tried to run just some power off tackle. And again, right now, Chardon's defensive line is dominating Canfield's defensive line on both run play and pass protection. And those linebackers are able to fly to the ball because nobody's getting to the second level to pick up those guys from filling their run gaps. Got to have a little heart-to-heart with your O-line.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it earlier. This is a battle of attrition when you've got 2 9-0 teams and you've got some big boys on the line on both sides, especially for D3. I mean, it's kind of, we've seen Mentor the last 2 weeks. We've watched Medina. We've seen Brunswick. We've seen a lot of these teams from Northeast Ohio from the last few weeks. And it's interesting to watch this. It's interesting to see the wing T. It's interesting to see the way these two teams, which, if you look on paper going into this game, you may give Chardon the slight edge, but the way Canfield's been playing lately, and they are 9-0, they had a lot of momentum coming into this week.
Oh, they sure did. But, right now, Chardon looks like the faster team on the field.
Right.
So typically what you would do from an offensive standpoint, especially when you got the physical size that Canfield has, is, we say, hey, we're going to go foot to foot. We're going to have no splits, and we're going to play smash mouth football. And we're going to go man on man, and back you just find the crease and hit it.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for Canfield.
And again, we're getting no push from the Canfield offensive line right now. And again, nobody's getting up to the linebackers. There was just a standard ISO play run by Canfield, and defensive line pushed the offensive lineman into the backfield. Back's got to adjust, and linebacker was right there to fill the hole.
3rd down and 11:34, and the clock is moving.
Here we go with an empty set. You guarantee we're going to have 5 people coming, more
Yep.
than Canfield could block.
Lowry is going to air it out all kinds of time. The O-line helping him out. He's able to jet one down to the 44-yard line. Did he make the catch? That's the question.
I don't think anybody was really in. The line judge across the field from us was in position, but he was shielded from the play.
Well, Drew Carochi did a nice job of just staying low. No defenders around him, so he hung onto the ball and came up with a nice catch. 5'11", 190.
He did a good
Junior.
job digging that out.
Again, another one of these two-way players for Canfield.
Now, Chardon chose not to blitz that time and had everybody covered up.
11 minutes to go in the first half.
And we're going with another empty set. Trips down to the bottom, Twins up top.
Alex Schneider at the bottom of the screen, but they're going to run. Canfield's going to bring it around the corner and get the ball to the 44-45. Late hit on this thing. I know the Canfield fans want it.
It looked a little cheap. Hit him in the back from behind after the play, but basically that was just a spread formation, quarterback power sweep. Everybody reach play side and try and get out on the corner and get upfield. And he got a short yardage, 2-yard gain out of that. I think the ref did a good job not throwing the flag. I think it wasn't malicious.
Nick Saminsky at the bottom of the screen. Lowry looking around, all kinds of pressure, can step out of it. Works his way around the corner, gets the midfield. 50, 45 to the 44-yard line.
Enough for a first down, and that was all Lowry. Okay, on this time, they had spread formation. He's rolling out to throw the ball. They send one more than they could block, and he turned chicken you-know-what into chicken salad.
I hear you, my friend. Aaron Sternthal works his way into the backfield. Mike Crawford as well, number 25.
So we got a tight end trips to the top with a split end and a back in the backfield.
Lowry
Little
will fire
play
it down
action.
the field. Nice little slant pass. Look at the jive. Logan Taroque. He's circled down and brought down at the 20-yard line.
Canfield did a nice job of finding the single coverage backside here. They had tight end trips to the top. Corner was all alone down here on the bottom. Slight little play action, run action, freezes that linebacker, opens up that slant right behind him.
Toby Smith checks out of the game.
Canfield kids could run.
Sorry. Yep. No, Toby Smith. 9:15 to go here in the first half. Canfield trying to get on the board for the first time tonight.
Got the same formation flip down here to the field into our sideline.
Lowry's going to keep it. Turn the corner. Spin fumble. Oh, and it walked right into the hands of Chardon. And Chardon's going to have a tremendous run back here. In fact, look at this. He is going to go all the way. Wow, what a crazy turn of events.
I'm speechless. I mean, and you can't get on Lowry trying to make something out of nothing, and the second effort not going down, and just got the ball punched out from behind him, and it bounced right into Nate Sulka's hands, and he took it all the way back. I mean, there was nobody there to stop him.
I mean, the ball bounced right into his hands like he was a shortstop.
As a coach, you shake your head on that. Like, what are you supposed to do about that?
Nothing.
There's nothing we can do about that. We got offsides. Seems like an illegal formation on Chardon's PAT team. That'll back him up 5 yards. But, you can almost deal with the turnover as, hey, we did some successful things. We got all the way down there. Yeah, we had a turnover. But for that turnover to turn into 7 the other way, a 14-point swing on the game, instead of being 14-7, which would have probably been inevitable on that drive, you're now down 20-0.
Extra point for Chardon. Up and in. Would they credit that? That had to be 80.
From our angle, he picked that up probably about the 15-yard
Yeah, that's what
line.
I thought too.
And you could see he was almost, he was almost shocked on how clean and nice that ball bounced right up to him.
And the other thing that's crazy is, I mean, he had nothing. He made one move towards the sideline and then cut all the way up. And the next thing you know, it's a touchdown.
There was literally everybody was downfield blocking. There was literally nobody left behind to chase him down. And I'll tell you what, for such big physical teams that both these teams are, they have good team speed as well.
Interesting. Kenston played both of these teams this year as a common opponent. I had a chance to talk to some of their coaching staff before this game, just kind of get a feel for, what we were going to see. And I don't think anyone expected 21-0 here.
No.
But it's two big turnovers. That's the difference.
Two big turnovers, one resulting in a short field, easy drive.
Yep.
Obviously, the other one resulting in the scoop and score touchdown that makes it 21-0. But even the opening drive was a 3-4 play shell shock, big chunk play drive for Chardon.
Line drive kick, fielded nicely by Canfield. 25 out to about the 26-yard line. Did that ball get loose? If it did, he was able to hang on to it.
It's a decent starting position for Canfield, across their 30. It's 8:46 left in the second quarter. You have got to get something on the board and make this game at the start of the third quarter within reach.
Again, you'll talk about it later, but it's all about possessions in the half.
Absolutely. And Chardon has stolen 2 from Canfield so far, in the interception and the scoop and score.
Lowry again. He'll just hand it off. Oh, reverse coming back our way. And not much of a pickup.
Again, you're not gonna find Chardon in a lot of man coverage on that second level where they're gonna chase that kind of action. They had the reverse action in the backfield. By the time you got around the corner, you got an outside linebacker in a corner sitting there waiting for the play, because they don't chase motion. They don't overshift to offense's window dressing.
A lot of running. Aaron Sternthal got it back to the line of scrimmage at the 27.
You're going to sit in there, base 40 defense.
8-10, second quarter. Lowry. His line's done a nice job. Oh, they're looking for a push-off flag. It never happened.
That was just good football.
Yeah.
Defensive,
Logan Torek again.
Yeah, defensive back played that well. He didn't let the receiver get inside leverage on him, and an easy, he couldn't box him out on the catch. Got his hand in and knocked it down. And right now, what you see Chardon doing with this 21-point lead, knowing that Canfield has to throw, they're playing a hard cover 2 shell behind it, and they're playing a zone underneath, and they'll probably, send a backer every now and then to pressure.
Sternthal to the top of the screen, Torek to the bottom.
Sending the house on this one.
Swing pass out to the 30.
Yeah, that's just kind of a poor man's screen where you take your receivers and you run your defenders downfield and you dump it to your back. And they almost caught him because Chardon went all out blitz and sent all their linebackers on that. Had 6 guys going with 5 guys trying to block it.
Tony Panunzio. One of your neighbors, probably growing up at some point.
Probably.
7:30 to go here, second quarter. Canfield a punt. Nice punt. Cade McDevitt. McDevitt gets it out to the 35, and he is tackled by a slew of Hilltoppers.
Nice kick, nice coverage, decent little return. So Chardon's going to come out. They're not going to change what they're going to do. Canfield needs to try and steal a possession here, get a 3 and out, or get a turnover.
$7:18 to go, first half, first down and 10. They'll start this drive from the 36-yard line.
We got a little player confusion over on the Chardon line as to who should be in and who shouldn't.
Chardon able to take care of 2 big Canfield turnovers and convert them into points.
We got another timeout by Chardon. Most of these timeouts seem to be personnel related.
Yeah.
Kids are confused, formations, somebody's not going in, or there's somebody not in that they want them to go in. So you can tell the juices are flowing. These kids are still jacked up.
Right.
You know, they're even 21 down 21 points. You know, you're not going to get any less of an effort from these Canfield kids. Coach Pavlansky is not that kind of coach. He's going to get an effort from them all 4 quarters.
All right, so give me the coaching perspective on this, because at what point does the scoreboard affect what you're going to call? I mean, it's still so early in the game. I don't know. I think you got to come in with your game plan and stick to it still.
Yeah, at this
And
point,
almost look at the game like you're down 3-0 rather than down 21-0.
at this point of the game, it's 0-0, and it's
Right.
one step at a time. So,
Yeah.
how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right?
Right.
So, I've always, tried to think, and most offensive coaches will always try
Oh, the
and
box
think,
is. Oh, you got it. Boy, I got to tell you, I would have been nervous on that too. Evan Ash was standing.
I got a little too eager. But, you asked the question, when do you start changing your play calls? At the absolute moment of desperation.
Well, and you don't want to be there.
And
Chris Samaroni was the guy that was right there on the line, and I got to tell you, he was like a. I don't know, like a dog that hasn't eaten in a few days, and he was salivating over the line.
He was standing over that ball, man.
That'll bring up 1st down and 5 for Chardon. 1st down and 5. They'll punch it up again and get the ball to midfield.
Yeah, Canfield's coming out, and they're trying to, they have one safety back behind. They got 10 guys in the box, and they're trying to cover up. But again, this Chardon offensive line is just dominating Canfield's defensive line. And like you said, now when you got guys that are going both ways,
Yep.
that's going to start to add up, and it's going to start to become an irreversible situation.
Fetchick's got big boys in front of him. Koslowski, Fay, Friend, all on the left side.
Now, a little power formation.
Pettyjohn, pick up a 2, maybe.
Yeah, very little. All that was a slot formation to the top of the field with 2-back set, and it was what we call down sweep, both guards pull. Try to kick out, turn up, and get upfield, and Canfield did a good job of defending that and running with it.
Well, why do you think the wing tee goes into phases? Like, you'll see it, and then you won't see it, and then it comes back, and then, it's interesting. I just think it's very effective, obviously, at the high school level. But, well, I mean, let's face it, Delaware and Tubby Raymond invented this thing. So,
Well, exactly. I mean, it was even, I want to say maybe Tubby Raymond was the first one to put it into an actual playbook.
right.
And organized the way he is. But the wing tee will come and go because, quite simply, coaches don't think it's sexy enough. But I don't care what offense you're looking at. If you're looking at a pro-eye offense, a pro-style offense, a spread offense, all your blocking schemes and everything you do go back to wing tee principles. And it's all covered, whether you're blocking down, kicking out, or you're playing man-on, which is reach, which we call an inside-outside zone play now.
3rd down and 4.
So basically all you have there is you have the same formation they ran the down sweep. So they're getting Canfield running, and this time they take that slot back and they bring them back underneath with a counter. And the whole premise of the wing tee is we're going to outflank you, and we're going to get you running. And when you start trying to build a fence around us because we're getting outside, then we're going to take it up inside you. Then when you tighten down, we're going to go back outside you. But the key is every play's looking the same.
1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line, 5:18 to go. They'll slow things down. Pettyjohn turns around. Fetchick. Pettyjohn again. This time he's got it. They'll hand it to him. He's got the ball at the 35, and he is tackled quickly. Ethan Fletcher right there to make the play.
Did a very good job. Linebacker did a good job reading his keys that time. Guard pulled. He flowed with it. Did not, was not able to get, offensive lineman was not able to get him hooked, and he was able to come underneath and make a good play. Chris Samarone.
He's a big boy right there in the middle.
Yeah, he is, and he runs well too. But when your offensive linemen are getting knocked back into you, that cuts off your flow to the ball. And before you see it, before you know it, you're seeing the 6-7 yard runs.
4:23 to go here in the first half. It's 21-0 Chardon. And we'll get a timeout.
And again, we got some offensive confusion with what the formation that was supposed to be lined up, because we saw Fetchick trying to get his guys realigned and lined up properly, and Coach Hewitt called the timeout.
Let me ask you this, you're a coach. When do you know to call that timeout? I mean, at what point do you say, all right, I need to burn it here? And how much does the score dictate in that situation too?
You know, in this particular situation here, you got a drive going. You can literally put this game away on this drive. Second down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need your timeouts. You're up 3 scores. So let's stop the confusion right now. Call the timeout. Get my offense on there and get them all on the same page, so I don't create an opportunity for the defense with a turnover or a bad play that puts me in a 3rd down and long situation.
Sure. All right, they'll bring the ball back in. Dylan Friend, it is interesting to see the center always hang on to the ball here because of the pandemic. It's unusual. 2nd down and 10. Fetchick's going to throw it up in the air, and there's nothing going on that.
Yeah, what we had there was just a power set with run action away, and they tried to bootleg around it, and Canfield had a stunt coming off that corner anyhow, and they tried to isolate one-man flag route to the tight end, and he didn't really have enough time to get into that throw, and it ended up being overthrown.
So if the clock is stopped at 4:13 here in the first half. It's 3rd down and 10 now from the 35. I'm assuming this is 4-down territory too.
Rare pass by Chardon.
Petty John stays home to block. Fetchick's throw will end up in points. Just a little bit over 4 minutes to go here in the first half. And this will bring up 4th down. This could be a momentum changer here for Canfield if they can make a stop.
Well, it could give them an opportunity to turn this next possession into points and go down by 14 as opposed to going down by 3 scores. You can see why Chardon doesn't throw the ball, you know, as a steady diet. I mean, it's a one-man route again. Again, the receiver did a good job running an out route, but the ball just wasn't delivered.
4th down and 10, 4:09 to go here in the first half. Blitz, Fetchick sees it, moves forward, gets it to the 20, gets pushed forward a little bit more, and it'll be short of the 1st down. About 4 yards short.
And that's a nice safe play call. You know, you're on the plus side of the field. You don't really get a net gain of field position by punting.
Right.
So you just keep a safe play. You might catch them with a quarterback draw. Lord knows that Browns get caught by it every Sunday. Let's see what Canfield comes out. Let's see if they, do what you alluded to. Do they panic? So we got tight end trips to the top, twins to the bottom, motion in.
Lowry on the keeper.
Basically, they just run a power sweep back to that short side of the field. And again, Chardon's defense will not chase. You will not catch their guys out of position, and you're running into the face of their defense, and they simply have more defenders at the point of attack than you have blockers.
Pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd down and 8. Ball on the 30-yard line.
Twins to the top, twins to the bottom, back in the backfield.
Lowry's going to scramble. Avoids one tackle, keeps it to the 30, 35, and taken down to the 32. Enough for a 1st down. I got to tell you, for a sophomore, this kid's got a ton of poise.
Oh, yeah.
Ton of poise.
Great footwork. I mean, great feet, good vision. So far, that's been their most impressive offensive play, but it looks like they marked him a little short here as we're coming up with a 3rd and 2.
From where we were standing, didn't it look like he got the 1st down, no problem?
Absolutely.
And we're sitting about the 44-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1, though. He'll just keep it again. Spins out of a tackle. Oh, that's definitely a 1st down.
That's definitely a 1st down. But what's concerning to me is, again, this Canfield offensive line, which is just enormous. It cannot handle the push and the speed of the Chardon defensive line. Even though we pick up the first down, he still had to run through a defensive tackle's arms around his legs in the backfield.
Chris Samarone checks out of the game.
Going empty set. We got trips down to the bottom, and we got twins up top.
Torek is on the bottom of the screen. Lowry down the middle, incomplete. Broken up around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, there's just off the mark. Lowry's just a little off the mark on that, and these receivers on these crossing routes, sometimes they have to learn to settle down in that open area, because what we had happen here was he was actually running into coverage on the other side of the field, which makes that window that Lowry's got to throw the ball all that much smaller. Settle down, keep the defender on your back, and make it a pitch and catch situation.
Second down and 10, 2:15 to go here in the first half.
Chardon's coming.
Lowry again with time. Ball got tipped, and nice defensive breakup right there.
Yeah.
Brady Toth got his hand over the receiver in a battle of nines over Ethan Fletcher's hands that were out there. I think Fletcher felt like the ball was right there at his fingertip, and boom, Toth came in right at the last second and was able to knock it down.
Yeah, well, he was the beneficiary of a tip ball at the line of scrimmage, because that
Correct.
ball took a long time to get there. If that ball wasn't tipped, that would have been a nice executed play and a first down.
Drew Carochi checks in. Chris Samarone checks out.
So we're going spread again. We got trips down here at the bottom, and we got twins up top, empty
Torek and
backfield set.
Venanzio. Lowry. Ethan Fletcher. This time it's there for him, and he'll move the ball to the 44.5-yard line.
And you'll see that Chardon and Vince Ferrante, those kids run well. He's got no other responsibility against the spread set. He sees that ball thrown, he can unleash and run free, and he stopped what could have been a long gain into a 5-yard gain.
Boy, I see that Ferrante name, and all I think about is wine, right?
I was thinking like sausage and peppers or some sub sandwiches. But yeah, the winery, Ferrante Winery.
1:30 to go here in the first half.
Same formation by
Lowry, oh, nice. He had to go behind, pick it up, and then come back and make the catch. And they'll be able to move the ball across midfield. Nice reception.
a nice pitch and catch, and he did a good job sitting down in the hole right there where the defenders, he was in between two defenders and gave Lowry an opportunity to deliver a strike.
I'm always interested when I see a wide receiver not go to the huddle and then always come down to the bottom of the screen. What's that normally mean? Logan Torek just did that.
He knows the formation. He knows the route he's going to be running.
Lowry to the top of the screen. He's going to roll. He's going to keep it himself.
Get out of
45-yard line. He'll stop the clock with 56 seconds to go. 3 is not something they need right now, although Jonathan Schmidt can kick the ball, but they need 7.
They do. You know, and here's where those
Changes everything.
Right, here's where those miscommunications and those mislineups where you got to burn timeouts come back to haunt you, because you only have one now. You're driving the ball. Granted, Chardon's playing a soft defense on you and doesn't want to give up a big play. You have 56 seconds. You're on the plus side of the field, but it hasn't been easy for Canfield to pick up yards. Every play's been contested.
Trips to the bottom, single receiver up top. Lowry unloads. Nice catch. Pins the corner and knocked out of bounds. Ethan Fletcher.
You'll see they're running these route combinations underneath, and Chardon's just keeping everything in front of them and not giving up the big play, and that's why we have the big completion there. Now that they're down, and I think the ball's on about the 22.
Yeah, they'll spot it at the 22.
Yeah, we'll see Chardon's their defense probably tighten up here a little bit. They're in that 40 defense with a cover 2 shell. Now they're drifting to a cover 3.
Lowry looks downfield, and he's picked off. Again, another tough play, and Chardon will keep the ball moving down the field. Sulka again.
Sulka again.
Wow. What a half. Nate Sulka with another interception, his second. The last one rolled about 85 yards for a touchdown. It's that same read and coverage. It was virtually the same play.
Well, basically, what you had here, though, you were kind of blocked.
Well, that was a fumble, yeah. The first one was a fumble, but this time, same spot kind of in the field, that same.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But Canfield receivers either slipped on his cut, and Lowry had already let the ball go. Another gift to Solka. I mean, receiver falls down, and he's just standing right there to catch it.
38 seconds to go here in the half. 21-0 Chardon. Try to move it, or you just try to eat the clock out?
Chardon will keep after you.
Oh, they'll go for the home run. Overthrown, though.
And he had him.
He had three defenders beat.
Well, here's the thing. The receiver should have just kept on his course on running his route, pushing the seam. He broke it down underneath and started coming across the field into the face of the safety. And again, throwing the ball is not what Chardon does. And we really haven't seen, other than that opening pass and maybe one other, we haven't seen a very accurate throw out of Fetchik since.
34 seconds to go in the first half. It's 21-0 Chardon. And look at this, streaking down the sidelines and taken down at the 10-yard line.
Just a power.
James Pettyjohn is just lightning in a bottle. Wow.
Just a power
45
sweep.
down to the 9-yard line.
Just a power sweep into the short side of the field. Okay. Formation set away. Got Canfield playing the field. They run power sweep to the short side. Canfield's outnumbered. Pettyjohn catches the sideline and off to the races.
Ooh, this is just a brutal minute for Canfield right here.
And Chardon has no timeouts.
26 seconds to go. First half. They'll run again.
Yeah.
Chardon will keep it moving. Now they got the ball down at the 5. They are going to have to regroup quickly.
You're going to have to try and clock it.
17, 15 seconds to go. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. It'll spike the ball.
They lost about two. We could hear some comments coming from the stands there, but that's about 2 plays worth of time that clicked off the clock.
He's gonna pick it up, cast his waist, and spike it.
We are sitting in the stands, in case you're wondering.
And we got the rules interpretation committee.
7 seconds to go here in the first half. It is 21-0 in favor of Chardon, and Chardon will come on and go for the field goal. Nathan Tager.
Puts it up and through.
It's good.
Taking a 24-0 lead at the half, and Mitch Hewitt, Coach Hewitt, played for Coach Doyle. Coach Doyle ran this offense and ran this football team the same way. He is not going to let up. He will put the gas pedal down the entire 4 quarters. And that's a little bit of a kind of kick where they're down to Canfield. You're 21-0, you're driving, twice you're driving, ends up in a turnover and results in positive points for your opponent.
Well, I mean, you look at it, all the points are results of turnovers.
You're looking at 17.
With the exception of the first touchdown.
17 points.
Yep.
Are results of Canfield turnovers. And we got 2 seconds left, and we'll probably get a squib kick here.
Almost halftime. Thanks for watching on Spectrum Stream. The folks watching back in Canfield and all across the state. So we appreciate you watching. We know it's crazy times right now, and I know a lot of you want to be here right now, but we're just happy that we're able to bring it to you so you can watch and see, this state playoff football game here from Chardon in Geauga County on a beautiful night, 60 degrees. I mean, I would have thought that early November.
Right.
2 seconds to go here in the first half. It is 24-0 Chardon.
2 surprises. A 60-degree night.
Yeah,
24-0 Chardon lead. Right
well,
now,
I guess you go in the locker room, you say you're 4 possessions down, right? Or that's it. That's it. I mean, I don't know how else you look at it.
Defense has got to pitch 3 and outs, create turnovers. Offense has got to be efficient.
Squib kick. Oh, it's a live ball. And that'll end the first half. Yeah. So your score here at Chardon, the Division III, Region 9 final. We are at halftime. Chardon leads 24-0. You're watching Ohio High School Athletic Association playoff football right here on Spectrum Stream. Welcome back. Chardon Memorial Field. Spectrum Sports, the Ohio High School Athletic Association State football playoffs, Division III, Region 9 final, and the ball has really gone Chardon's way in this one. You take a look at what happened. It was a nice drive, really nice drive early on, just a couple of plays before James Pettijohn, who is the running machine for the Chardon Hilltoppers all season long. He's been there and scored his 16th touchdown as he was able to punch it in from just a yard out. That made it 7-0. Then Vince Ferrante came up with a gigantic interception. That turned things around on a short field. Evan Ash is able to come in. He scores on a short touchdown run. It's 14-0 Chardon. Then with 8:51 to go, Nate Sulka, 85 yards on a return. It was unbelievable.
Scoop and score.
Yeah, it was real. But to see a scoop and score from 85 yards out, that's what was impressive about it. And the speed as he got down the field, there was no one within 15 yards of him once he hit the 45-yard line. He just took off like an energy booster right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Outside.
He looked like the Batmobile. You know how that thing went off in the Batmobile?
That jet turbine. in the
Yeah.
back? Yeah. One thing that I think is downplayed or hasn't been mentioned a whole lot because of the physical stature of these two teams and the style of football they play is the speed that both these teams have.
Yeah, they both are fast teams. It's fun to watch these two teams. And, it's amazing you're talking about two plays that really changed the face of the entire game.
You're talking about three turnovers on Canfield's part. One of them just being a bad throw on Lowry's part. The other two, your receiver falls down, and they get the interception resulting in 3 points. And then the scoop and score is, just one of those football gods throw you a curveball that
For sure.
and that turnover came at the end of probably a 12-plus yard gain by Lowry. And a big play because they were going in to score.
Tony Panunzio is back for Canfield. It's an interesting formation because he's not lined up in the middle of the field. He's lined up here on the near side, right? Normally you see that guy right in the middle of the field.
Well, you'll mirror where the ball is lined up, and if you notice, the ball is
you're
lined
right.
up just inside the hash, or so is the returner. But they're having one deep, kind of anticipating.
Short kick, and Canfield has it. They fumble and hang on to the ball. I don't think anybody was expecting that.
They dodged a huge bullet there, and it was just a pooch kick. And again, Coach Hewitt taking a page out of Coach Doyle's playbook from years in the past. You got to stay on your toes against them all the time. You think you're going to get a regular kick, being with them being up 24-0, and he tries a little pooch onside kick on you, and it almost worked. So Canfield 1st and 10 at their own 35.
36 yards, where they're going to mark it?
Yeah,
11:56, so 4 seconds off the clock to start this thing, and Canfield will run the ball on the first play.
So Canfield's coming out now in their more traditional pro-style set. 2 backs in the backfield with an offset fullback, and they're going to try and run some power football.
Michael Crawford, pickup of 9 on the play.
And we have a Chardon defender down, but there's too many kids standing around him. I can't get a beat on the number.
So again, you go back to basics here, right? Just go back to what got you here. How are you 9-0? What did you do to get there? Although the problem is Chardon's 9-0 too. They know what got them here, and they've been able to capitalize on turnovers.
Exactly. And Canfield's in a tough spot because, every time you touch the ball, you got to make it count. Okay? But you get in that situation, am I eating up too much of the clock while I'm trying to score my own touchdowns and not leave myself enough time to get back in the game? Again, we're coming out with that same power formation.
Flanking Lowry. And they'll hand it off to Crawford. And Crawford powers his way. Michael does. Across the 45-yard line.
So, again, basically, as you had asked before, here we are in a pro offset I formation, but you're running basic wing T principles. Everybody's blocking down, and the backside guard's pulling and kicking out off tackle. First play, he pulled and kicked out. Formation side tackle, off tackle.
Canfield runs the ball twice on this first possession. First half, 69 yards on 17 carries, 1 big fumble. Nice little quick pass. Lowry finds the middle, And there's Tony Panunzio on the catch.
And that was a great job by Lowry standing in there because, once again, Chardon fired their inside backer, sending more against Canfield's open 5-receiver set. And he stood there, he took the hit, and he delivered a strike. And, again, you hear me say it all the time, you're still dealing with kids. So, you'll tend to them. They may play a little softer being up 24-0.
Crawford in motion. Lowry on the keeper on the 40, and he is dragged down quickly. Cade McDivitt, the senior, 6 foot 180.
And again, you're going back to and Canfield's offense hasn't been able to figure it out yet. You're doing this motion and you're trying to get them to shift, and they simply just won't shift. They're not going to let you outflank them, and we have 2 blockers down at the point of attack trying to block 3 defenders.
Ball on the 37-yard line, 2nd down and 15. 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Lowry on a middle screen. And boy, talk about fighting hard. Panunzio again.
Another empty set, nice little slip screen. Panunzio did a good job making the first defender miss and get a nice big gain there. But you can see these Chardon kids, they're going at the ball.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to look up and say, hey, we're up 24-0. Don't worry about the ball. Make the solid tackle. First guy hold him up. Second guy go for the strip.
Samarone back in the game. He'll be the lone running back. He flanks Lowry. Trips to the bottom. Lowry on the keeper. Right back up the middle. Turns. Burns walks up the 25 to the 20. And he'll slide at the 20-yard line. Pickup of 12.
Again, they saw that in the halftime, in what they did in the first half, and they'll have success there. They had trips to the bottom, split up top, and basically you just take that single back, and he's your lead blocker, and your quarterback follows him, and a big successful play. And they're in business. They're down by the 20, maybe
21.
on the 20 or right outside the 20, and still under 9 minutes left in this game. They got to score quick.
Aaron Sternthal way down on the bottom of the screen. About a mile away, pickup of 1 on the run, though.
Safety did a good job filling hard on that. Now, typically when you see that type of aggressiveness, run support out of the safety, the Chardon safeties, you should come back with some play action and get behind them.
Ethan Fletcher checks back in the game. Panunzio comes back in the game. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 21-yard line, still 8:22 here in the 3rd quarter. It's 24-0 in favor of Chardon.
Trips to the bottom, split receiver to the top. Lowry. And we're going straight pass.
Lowry's going to keep it again. He looks. No, he throws. Open is Fletcher. Fletcher turns the corner, hits the side, and works his way up the middle, inside the 5-yard line.
I want to see he's down to the 2 or the 1. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. But Lowry did a good job getting outside contain on that, and he could have either run or thrown that ball. And like I've said before, when you get outside contain and that quarterback's running around, it's hard to cover those guys for that long.
So Canfield with their best scoring opportunity of the night on the very first drive here in the 2nd half. Brock Lowry out of the shotgun. Lowry keeps it, and he is in. He's in for the touchdown.
So that was just a double tight formation with the power back set, and Lowry didn't even wait for the lead block. He just saw a seam in the hole in the line and stuck his nose in there and got the ball across the goal line.
7:36 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Lowry took the ball off the field with him.
Yeah.
Delaying our PAT attempt there a little bit.
Well, you got to hang on to it, though.
Right.
I mean, it's so weird. It's like, in the past, that's probably that's delay a game.
I feel for all the ball boys that missed out this year.
Oh, good point. You're such a humanitarian.
This is why we're going for 2 here to make it a 2-score game.
24-6. Pass in the corner, incomplete. Looking for interference, but it wasn't going to happen. Ethan Fletcher thought he got bumped But so you missed the conversion, 24-6.
Still a 3-score game. If you kick the PAT, it's a 3-score game. So you try and go for the PAT for the 2-point conversion and make it a 2-score game, 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions. It's an aggressive way to go. But at this point, what choice do you have? You've got to play aggressively.
No, and you got to like the word I want to use is chutzpah, but
Chutzpah. I like that.
I mean, that was an impressive drive to start. I mean, it's not like Chardon backed down.
No.
And they also had the short kick. I mean, they pooched it, so they helped them out by about 20 yards. And, we were talking during the break, if we talk about the red zone being 20, and so the 35 to the 20 is probably the yellow zone, and that's where the 3 turnovers happened for Canfield, in that yellow zone.
And that's where being aggressive, the aggressive play by Coach Hewitt and trying to catch Canfield asleep at the wheel and get a quick pooch kick backfires on you because you gave him the short field.
7:36 to go, third quarter, 24-6.
With opportunistic as your defense has been in that first half, I would venture to kick away and make you have to drive longer down the field.
Chardon, and we'll have a clip. And he's still going, and he cracked the hole. And look at this, to the 50, to the 40, 20, 10, touchdown. But is it coming back? That's the question.
It is definitely coming back. We have 2 flags that are thrown, so we have a hold or block in the back down here around the 20. But that was some fancy footwork. And he looked like he was corralled there, just didn't stop his feet moving and made a couple guys miss and found a seam and got to the sideline and took it all the way down.
Well, Christian Hall thought he had a highlight for the night, but no, not to be done.
I'll tell you what, that was still pretty impressive run by him to get out of that traffic and find the seam and get to the sideline and outrun everybody.
It was just too good to be true. You saw him get to about the 40, 45-yard line, and then all of a sudden.
I mean, that one ref had the best throw of the night the way he tossed that flag. I mean, it came from 20 yards away. Again, though.
Boy, this thing's going to move it way back there.
Again, though, the speed of these kids. I mean, he had about 2-3 kids chasing him, and he just erased their angle with pure speed.
7:20 now is what the clock will read, third quarter.
This is exactly what Canfield needed.
First down and 10, though, so the penalties don't really matter. You still get first down and 10, but the ball is at the 10-yard line. Petty John in motion.
And we got a regular wing right, slot left formation, and we're going jet sweep.
Give it to Petty John. Petty John around the corner and can't turn.
Did a very good job there. They went to the jet sweep, which they had huge success, but Canfield's adjustment now is those guys are going to come up. There's no reason for them to have guys in the secondary. I'd have all 11 guys in the box and make you block all 11.
Ethan Fletcher read the play perfectly as he turned the corner and got the step on the end, and then boom, that was the end.
Right.
And that'll move him back again.
So you have to remember. So your wing T's trying to outflank you.
Right.
All you're doing is running the ball. If I put 11 guys in the box, there's nobody. You only have 10, so I got 11 against 10.
Second down and 15 from the 5-yard line. Fetcher gave it to Pettyjohn, and Pettyjohn is able to stroll his way up. It's third down. Was third down and 15. That'll bring up third down and 8. Third down and 8.
So they give you the same action, and this time they kick you out and they try and cut it up inside you, and they picked up a nice chunk of yardage to bring it to 3rd and 8. Again, right now, though, I want to see better push and better control of that line of scrimmage from Canfield's defensive line.
6 minutes to go, third quarter, third down and 8. Fetchick in the shotgun this time. He'll keep it. Get to the middle of the field. He's taken down at the 20.
Got it enough for a first down.
Did he get over the line? That's the question. He did.
Yeah,
the chains will move.
You know,
by the way, have you seen the commercials with those two guys that are the chains?
No.
Did you watch the Browns game? Oh, so funny. They're like measuring all over the place. One guy gets they're like, just at all these weird spots. They're like out on the sidewalk. One guy's in the middle of the street. And they go through a car door. Then they're scared to go in the basement. 5:35 to go here in the third quarter. First down and 10 from the 20.
Canfield's got that offensive line. They're crowding it, but they still got two safeties, and they got those two safeties that are still like 10 yards off the field.
Yeah.
Typically, what you do with those guys, they're your alley defenders. So if that
Right.
ball goes outside, you're running the alley and you're turning it back in, or he's got to bounce it to the sideline. But if you don't get at least a stalemate on that line of scrimmage between offensive and defensive line, and those defensive line get pushed back a little bit, that creates pockets and holes to run. Now you get a 5-yard gain.
4:52 to go here, third quarter. Second down 5 for Chardon. Chardon with a 24-6 lead. They'll pass. Wide open in the flat and move the ball close to the 26-yard line.
It's enough for a first down. And basically that corner for Canfield just wasn't playing tight enough. Let him do a little 5-yard hitch, pitch and catch. You're helping Chardon there.
Second first down on this drive alone, so this is what Chardon needs.
Oh, and Chardon's goal is to continue
Play
this drive with this quarter ending. And I've seen him do it.
4:17 to go, third quarter. Pettyjohn, nope, keeper. Cross the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Yeah. Again, you're getting 5- and 6-yard runs off the rip. They've got their misdirection going. They're hitting you in the middle. They're countering back against action. They're doing jet sweep and down sweep to the wide side. Then they're kicking you out and they're running off tackle on the traps inside. It's a lot to try and defend, and you have to be disciplined. And then if you compound that with the offensive line winning,
Yeah, how hard is it to teach? That's my question.
it really isn't.
It isn't.
It's more repetitive. It's more repetition.
You make it sound very complicated. It sounds like a lot of hot summer days. Pettyjohn.
Again-
Almost to midfield.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was Sean Carr.
Offense. Canfield's two defensive tackles got too deep in the backfield, got trapped, nice little hole. Again, they're not owning the line of scrimmage. Your Mike linebacker's getting picked off by guard or tackle coming down, and there's your hole.
That'll keep the clock moving, too. 3:18 to go here, third quarter. It's 24-6. Chardon. Ball now on the 48-yard line. First down and 10.
And we'll probably be under 3 by the time, or right around 3 when this ball is snapped.
Fetchick will go under center. Pettyjohn. Pick up a 3.
They played that well, and to me, sometimes I'm not a big fan of running a sweep action into the short side of the field,
Right.
especially when your formation was balanced. Okay?
Right.
So the defense isn't going to overshift one way or the other. So what's your advantage? You know, you're giving them an extra defender on that side of the field with the sideline.
Well, the only thing it's a 40-second play, right, if you're playing the clock game.
Yeah.
2:22 to go here in the third.
Nothing against the run decision.
Pettyjohn again. He'll get to the 40, 35. He's coming around the corner. 25, 20, dragged down inside the 20-yard line.
You know, here again, they run that same action where they just tried to get outside, but this time they kick you out and they cut up inside of it. And Pettyjohn runs with great vision. He sees the hole, he sees the cut, puts his foot in the ground and gets going north and south as quickly as possible.
They'll mark the ball at the 20-yard line. First down and 10, 2:09 to go.
We'll be under 2 at the snap of this ball.
Clock starts running again. Remind me to ask you a question here in a moment.
All right.
Carr again. Pick up a 1.5, maybe 2.
Yeah, they run the same formation. They got Pettyjohn coming off on the jet sweep. You see everybody flow, and then the guard kicks out the defensive end. It's just basically a fullback off tackle. Years ago, they used to call it belly, down G. You know, everybody comes up with new terms for the same play that's been being run since the 1900s.
1:27 to go. Third quarter. Second down and 8 now. Second down and 8. Ball on the 18.
Coming out with the same formation. Canfield's got everybody in the box with the exception of one. There's our jet sweep action, and there's our belly action. But now we keep it.
Fetchick goes out of bounds. Inside the 10 to the 9.
And good thing you got Ethan Fletcher out there that can run with Fetchick and basically chased him to the sideline, but he's still got a good, nice chunk of yards. You're left with a 3rd and 2 situation.
That wing tee is such an optical illusion sometimes when you're looking and you're like, you're trying to pick up if Pettyjohn had it or Carr had it or Ash has got it. Which one of these guys has got it? The misdirection can fool everybody. Well, not only the defense, but people sitting in the stands.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Fetchick does a good job with ball handling. So he does a good job with the hand fakes and the ball fakes.
Third down and 2. Pettyjohn hands it off.
Counter back.
Yep.
It's all. When we ran the wing tee, this is basically how you would script your first 10 plays.
Ash gets the first down, take it down to the 2. You script the plays. Yep.
I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to go off tackle, and I'm going to counter back. And I'm going to get you thinking. I'm going to get you flowing. I'm going to get your guys moving. I'm going to get your slant and angle game going. And then I'm always going to be one step ahead of you. And they just did it clockwork. They went wide. They went off tackle. They went inside. And then they went off tackle. And then they come back with the counter.
Down to the 4-yard line. Hilltoppers. Ash Fetchick keeps it. Goes to the corner. From here, it looked good. He was in. A 4-yard touchdown run.
And now we'll throw that wrinkle in there where you give them the off-tackle action, and Fetchick rides the fullback into the line of scrimmage and just pulls it and steps around him, and nobody's home because they're all filling on that run action off tackle.
Boy, you talked about eating up the quarter, and that's what they did. There's only 32 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Coach Hewitt, disciple of Coach Doyle, it's like going back in time what we're watching right now.
Taggart again. Snap is back, down, and up and in. (31-6), Chardon.
Now here's where that missed PAT comes back to haunt you too, because you didn't stop them. They put up 7, so now you're down 25 points. Now you're down 4 scores.
Yeah, and Chardon can get this to running time next time they get the ball.
Correct. They go up by 35, then it becomes a running clock.
Yep.
And as it is, this 3rd quarter is gone.
Depending on what Canfield can do with the ball. I don't want to sell them short on this next drive.
The way they're doing it now, Canfield will get 1 to 2 more possessions out of this game if Chardon keeps executing the way they've been executing.
It's the way that Chardon's been able to hang on to the ball and punish Canfield for turnovers. That's the storyline of the whole game.
Right. That was a 90-yard drive and took more than 8 minutes off the clock, if not 9 minutes. That's like trying to play the other team with only 8 guys on the field. It's just such a huge disadvantage.
Panunzio is back. Canfield trying to get some special teams help here. Are they going to pooch again?
Again, if I'm Coach Hewitt, I'm going to kick away and I'm going to make Canfield drive a longer length of the field, especially with how opportunistic my defense is.
He'll kick away and he'll kick to Panunzio. Ball bounces right into his hands at the 5-yard line, out to the 20, and he'll be stopped right there.
Like he stumbled a little bit just when he was trying to make his cut and get going.
Again, it's that yellow zone, right? That's what's haunting Canfield tonight. And Chardon has been impressive. I mean, there's no mercy when you're playing Chardon.
There's no letting up. And what have you seen? Two mistakes on their part?
Yep. Barely. Lowry's going to air it, throw it up in the air. And it's picked off. Is it? Nope, dropped down. Trey Liebhardt had the ball, and I don't know if he just couldn't hang on to it or
He just couldn't hang on to
if
it.
it got knocked out of his hands.
It actually kind of almost wedged in his
Shoulder
in the
pad?
corner of his right arm and his body, and as he went down to the ground, he couldn't corral it.
18 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
But it was great coverage, and Canfield receiver had a step on him. Ball was just a little underthrown.
It was almost, 60 degrees when this game started. Let's take a look at the forecast now. It's dipped a little bit, but feels like it's 56 right now.
This is still heaven for a November
Yeah, it's true.
game.
Fletcher.
Got a little cheap shot there, I
Yeah.
think. Guys are getting a little disgruntled and frustrated and playing past the whistle a little bit. Looks like
10 seconds to go here in the third quarter as the referees try to sort this out.
Canfield player a little aggressive on a block on a Chardon player after the whistle had blown.
Unsportsmanlike call. And that'll move Canfield back, and that's about the last thing they need right now.
Right. Again, I don't think it was anything cheap. I think it was just after the whistle, and he was, he didn't stop at the whistle. These two teams have been.
Well, I mean, we know no matter what
Yeah.
you say, we've talked about officials left and right, and it doesn't matter what sport, including the fact that winter sports just fired back up this week for the state. But, I mean, the number one priority of all these officials is to keep our kids safe.
Right. And sportsmanship.
Yep.
And, keep control of the game in this situation right now, because this is the type of game.
That'll end the quarter as well.
Tempers flare.
Yeah.
Kids are frustrated, and you don't want to lose control of the game.
Well, after 3, it's 31-6 as both teams were able to get on the board in the third quarter. And when we return in the fourth quarter, it'll be 3rd down and 10.
And I'd be surprised if you see the ball go up in the air at all by Chardon. They have Canfield pretty much right where they want them, where they could put the final nail in the coffin.
James Pettyjohn, 120 yards.
Kid's fast.
What a night.
Yep.
Well, and we knew that coming in. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing this kid run.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's one thing when you see a highlight or you're watching stuff. I got to tell you, I'm always impressed with, just as we try to do a little bit of research on these games and try to, see what's out there. The kids from Chardon that are editing videos together and throwing them up on YouTube, they're pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. It's amazing what kids do nowadays with technology and promote their schools or promote their sports. The kids that promote themselves, which is necessary to do in recruiting,
Yeah,
marketing yourself nowadays. So Canfield's, Chardon's got Canfield right where they want. 3rd and 20, we know they got to throw. And we're going to pressure them the entire time.
Lowry's going to get some room to run, though. Out to the 25, and a flag coming in from, wow, now you want to talk about an impressive throw.
That's the second one he's thrown.
That back judge was on the 45.
And I'm going to be
on the
interested-
other side.
I know. I'm going to be interested to see what this call is, because basically what happened is a Canfield receiver peeled back and blocked the Chardon defender. And the block looked clean to me. Now, if he's going to go with
they called it on.
this defenseless whatever, it didn't appear to be
Defenseless
that. Yeah, it didn't appear to be that way. I'm waiting to see what he calls it, what he signals it, unless I missed it
listen.
because of the poll.
And you will not get your wish.
Yeah, I think he gave it right when he was standing in this pole in front of me here.
It's interesting, there are no mics on the officials here tonight. I just realized that.
That's a blessing to me.
11:39 to go here in the ballgame. 31-6, Chardon. Lowry. Ball was behind him and incomplete. Oh, and a little bit of tempers flaring.
No, that was just nothing. That was kid trying to get up. But here's the MO now, okay? Chardon is going to send more than you can block, and they're going to want to get that ball out of your hand as quick, keep it short passes, no big plays. Lowry's been running for his life for most of the time in that empty set, and he's turned some bad situations into good situations with his legs. But you can't live on that, especially when you're in this situation with the score as lopsided as it is.
Cade McDivitt back for Chardon. He'll stand on his own 45-yard line. And it's going to be bad news for Canfield. Chardon's going to have great field position. He keeps walking, and where are they going to spot it? 45-yard line?
At the 45-yard line, he just kind of missed that ball, went off the side of his foot, and it was a low line driver straight out of bounds.
The back judge is the one that ran up, and a lot of times you'll see those guys run up the sidelines where they think it went out. He ran up the middle of the field, so I don't know that punt went out at that point. I mean, it's close, but
usually that side judge will have a good view of those low line drivers out of bounds. He could spot it pretty well.
Well, what a night for the Hilltoppers. And Pettyjohn adds to his 100-yard night, 100-yard-plus night, and another flag. It's getting chippy now.
Well, yeah, we got a late hit. We got he was on the ground, and we had a Canfield kid come down on top of him after. Again, I don't think this is anything malicious. I think it's kids that are just playing hard to the whistle, and they're not slowing up. And these guys are making a exerted effort to not lose control of the game.
Sure.
That could have been something simply. The flag didn't need to be thrown. You could pull that kid aside and go to the whistle.
But
slow up.
But can you say it both ways? You're saying you're trying to keep control, but yet you're saying maybe you could have let it go.
You didn't have to throw the flag. You could control the game verbally and get in the kids.
Right.
Get in their ear and say, hey, listen, I could have thrown the flag on you there. That was a little late. And usually that'll do the job with most kids.
I don't know. Vito, if we were in court, I don't know if this would be good. I think I would catch you in your own lie on that one.
I would defend it to the death. I would defend it to the death.
Sean Carr, top of the screen. He's the lone setback. Sean Carr.
It is getting a little chippy. Guys are getting in one another's faces, and and again, the way that Chardon is taught, they don't slow up. I just saw 73 take his or 77 take his defender 10 yards out of the play, lost his footing, and then went to a crab crawl to keep the block going. That is just tremendous effort. And when you're whooping up on somebody, that type of effort tends to frustrate the opponent.
Second down and 3, 10:36 to go in the ball game. Little push forward, pickup of a couple. Enough for the first down? Yes, it was.
Yes,
they'll move the chains.
And again, this, as they said going into this game, what was the big concern? Line play, right? And Canfield has not been able to step up to the challenge, and Chardon has dominated the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively.
Tiff and Columbiana, holy name, waiting for the winner of this one. The winner of that game gets the winner of this game as we move on to the Final Four. 10 minutes to go. That'll be next week. Just a big scrum down there on that one. I got to tell you, I don't know that we haven't had this, and now that they've said Fortress Obetz is going to host all the state championships down in Columbus this year, just outside of Columbus. I kind of like the fact that the D1 final is a week before everybody else's.
I think it highlights the games.
Yeah, I think you're spread. I like the 7 or 8 days in between the state championships. Especially when you look at Division 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it gives everyone their own time, and you're not jamming everything in the same day.
Yeah, gives everyone their own stage.
Yep.
And it's amazing at 9 minutes and being first and goal that Chardon is still managing to just chew time off this clock. And
Sean Carr again.
Any timeouts that Coach Pavlansky would call at this point are just they're just futile and prolonging the inevitable. And
well, I mean, they dug the hole early.
Just haven't been able to get out of it. Haven't been able. 3 turnovers. You spot them. 17 points off the turnovers. That's tough.
Vince Ferrante's pick really changed the shape of things early on. I mean, we're talking about 9:50 into the first quarter. Chardon trying to knock down that brick wall of a goal line, but it's not going to happen.
And they don't care if they score. They just want to choose time off the clock.
Ethan Fletcher with the tackle. 8:24. Pettyjohn had the carry there.
Yeah.
4th down and 1.
Yeah, and going back to Ferrante's pick, I mean, that really set the tone.
It did.
If that opening drive didn't set the tone enough for that pick and then it to become 14-7 before, 3 minutes were even off the clock, that's not the way you want to start a playoff game.
I think that secondary storyline clearly then, and we haven't touched on it very much, but I mean, Chardon's defense is, as much as impressive as the offense has been, it's been the defense that has been the game.
Yeah, you're talking,
I mean, you just talk about change of momentum and just,
keeping the pressure on them the entire night.
But, it's funny. You're going to go back and you're going to look at this game and you're going to Canfield, you're going to be, what went wrong? Well, we know the turnovers caused it, but there were moments when it looked like, especially when they were down 14-0, that and we saw this last week. Let's be honest. I mean, we were walking into halftime with Medina and Menor, and, Menor was methodically taking Medina apart, and it was a 14-14 game. And then inside the last 3 minutes of the first half in that game, they just ripped the will out of Medina in that game. And now you look at this game, I do give Canfield credit. They easily could have fallen down 14-0. They still put decent drives together, and then you get into the turnover, and that's where the problems happen.
Right. And just what kind of surprised me a little bit tonight is you're talking about,
4th down and 1, by the way. 4th down and 1, 7:47. Chardon spins, and he got it. Touchdown.
Canfield's defense is just as touted as Chardon's defense, but when your defensive line is getting controlled the way Canfield's defensive line has gotten controlled tonight, again, it's almost like you're playing with 8-9 guys out there because you're taking your linebackers out of your defensive play because the defensive linemen are getting knocked back into them. There's nobody there to fill the hole.
Pettyjohn with his second rushing touchdown of the night, both of them short for a guy that has a night of probably 130 plus on the ground. And another flag.
Yeah, I think this is a
Offside. Chardon.
This is a situation where either that the center's moving the ball forward when he goes to grip it, or somebody's not lining up correctly because they've gotten called on this twice, and neither time has anybody moved. So usually when that center goes to grab the ball, he's advancing it, which is technically a false start.
Sure.
Or somebody's not lining up on the line of scrimmage like they should.
So tack a little extra on for Nathan Taggart. Doesn't bother him. Through the uprights. 37-38, 6. Chardon working their way to the Final Four. 7:42 to go, but that clock's going to move awful fast now.
And we're going to go to a running clock. No, we're 3 points shy of the running clock. It's almost like a clone of what we've been watching at Menor the past couple of weeks. It's just that they gain momentum as the game goes on. They keep the pressure on. They don't make mistakes. If you get down behind to them, trying to get back in the game becomes very difficult because they just don't provide you with the opportunities to do so. Or is it 30? Is the rule 30? The PA announcer just made an announcement. And I think they will go to a running clock here because it's 30, not 35.
Hewitt. Played for Urban Meyer, Bowling Green.
Yeah. When Coach Doyle left, the Chardon program took a little bit of a dip.
Yep.
And wasn't the powerhouse, rough, tough nose, hard nose, blue collar type of team that it was under Coach Doyle. And Coach Hewitt came back and just reinstilled that and picked up that's how he was taught. He played for Coach Doyle. From Pee Wee on.
Believe it's Gail Hewitt's birthday tonight, 51 years old.
Happy
Wait, should I
birthday.
say her age? It says it on the scoreboard. I mean,
Well, all right. You're
yeah,
off,
I guess
you're
you
off
gotta
the
say
hook
it.
then, I guess.
I hope so.
That was Andy that said that, Gail, by the way. Happy birthday.
Well, you look back, you're Canfield, and you're 9-0 on the season, and you had a big game last week. Everything looked good. Crazy week of preparation, like we started to talk about it. It snowed in the beginning of the week. Passes behind him. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 25. 6:45 as the clock rolls.
And again, Canfield's going to be in these empty receiver sets. Chardon's going to throw more than he could block in you. And Brock Lowry, he got knocked around a lot tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Taking a lot of hits, running the
But
ball.
his future is so bright.
He's a sophomore, again, a sophomore kid. So now we got 2 backs in the backfield, and we're going to see if Coach Pav is just going to try and run this out.
With Sam Marone.
Keep the ball on the ground. Try and get something positive going.
It's weird. We normally don't sit in the stands with the fans, but tonight we were sitting in the stands with the Canfield stands that are in front of us.
And again, just to remind everybody listening, Chardon's up 38-6. So if it seems like this game goes particularly fast, we are now in a running clock situation. So regardless of what happens,
It's our 2nd week in a row.
the clock does not stop.
It's weird because you normally in a playoff scenario, you don't normally think you'd be running in a running clock, but it's where we find ourselves today.
Yeah. And I go back to, again, you're still talking about 16, 17 on the outside, 18, maybe even 15-year-old kids playing, and the playoffs start. You get all revved up, and you got that game, and then you advance, and every opponent you're playing is tough. And then when something like this happens, sometimes you just can't recover from it.
So that'll bring up 4th down. 4th down and 10. Clock will be under 5 minutes after they snap this. 38-6. Ball is on the 32-yard line. Under 5 minutes now. Lowry's got 10 yards to go. And
We should have enough
got
for
the first down.
Yeah.
Drew Carochi on the reception. Nice golf clap from the crowd over here from Canfield.
Hey, you support your kids no matter what. Nothing to be ashamed of. The season that these kids had in the climate and circumstances.
Let's be
that these
honest.
kids
Yeah,
have played
I mean,
this
just to
year.
even be out on the field tonight, it's pretty spectacular. Hey, that there are folks even in the stands here right now. And by the way, we really want to thank the folks from Chardon. They did a fantastic job of setting up Memorial Field tonight and just making us feel welcome and putting up these tents out here so that we could sit in here. Lowry.
And credit to Canfield. They're not quitting.
No.
They're still trying to run their offense. They're trying to move the ball down the field. They want to score.
No, and you got underclassmen. There's got to be something in their mind as they head into next season, right? What's going to push you in the weight room? What's going to make you want to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning?
There's a huge, loud message that gets delivered in these situations by your coaching staff to your kids and your underclassmen.
Sam Marone turns the corner. 50. Knocked out on the other side of the 50, closer to the 47, yeah.
So it's very important that the coaches handle this situation properly. Again, to keep the stability of that program intact and send messages to your younger kids.
I got to give the coaches all around the state, no matter what sport it is right now, fighting for the kids to be out on the field and understanding, and I know we have timeout, but, it's as we all know, it's a bizarre world out there, and I just think that when you look at athletics right now and how important they are to our kids right now, and just making sure that, not only physical exercise, if you want to bare bones it, take it back to the physical exercise that we're seeing right now, but just the sense to kind of feel normal. You're walking through the hallways of school if you're in school or if you're virtual, or, just to be able to come out here, do what you need to do to feel normal. It's such a...
It has a ripple effect. It's, that's where it starts, and then it brings a sense of normalcy back to the school, the community, the citizens of the community, the kids. And then, you know, you still got to remember these kids are looking to go on and play in college.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. And
Hey, what does this do for recruiting, everything that's going on now? Because, you know, it's kind of a hodgepodge schedule. NCAA, I mean, you look at recruiting has been, in some sports, you know, there's more moratoriums going on, and everything's kind of seems to be in a different situation. You got to believe that college, you know, colleges aren't spending the money on recruiting. We got Holden, this place coming back.
Yeah.
Is a nice run, though. Good catch and burn down to the 10-yard line, but it's coming back. Ethan Fletcher with a really nice reception right there. And Fletcher's had a great season.
Yeah. Back to answering your question, though, I mean, you know, when you're recruiting, you know who your blue chippers are.
Right.
Okay, so and then you're trying to fill your rosters. And don't kid yourself. Schools look to bring kids on to fill practice squads.
Sure.
You know, because you need to compete. You need to have good competition out on that practice field to prepare you for every Saturday afternoon that you're playing. But nowadays, with all the recruiting
Tools.
services that you have and all these companies that will promote it and the kids that know how to promote themselves.
How does that work, though? Because I had a great conversation with I was talking to a head coach in another sport, and he was just saying, you know, good players are going to be found.
Right.
And if you're inviting college coaches to your games and you're the kid, it normally doesn't work out to your advantage. So because what will happen is a coach will end up coming in, you may have invited him to see you, and then they're going to end up looking at somebody else.
Exactly. And, you know, there's
Time out with 1:39 to go in the game.
There's a line that you got to draw with marketing yourself, and I firmly believe that the student athletes, they need to market themselves because the colleges simply don't have the financial or the human resources to go out and see every kid that's available out
Right.
there. So in today's technology, it's very easy to market yourself, and you can play yourself.
So how has this changed for the role of a coach? I mean, look, if you're
With the pandemic,
yeah, no, well, I mean, you know,
in today's current climate,
like we didn't even talk about Miles Mendelzoom tonight very much for Chardon, but here's a guy that's going to Iowa State. John Heacock is the head coach there, who was at Youngstown State before. Heacock family, one of the greatest families in Ohio high school football history, or college football for that matter.
Right.
Having spent some time with the family and just, you know, going back to their dad and their roots and Muskingum and everything that family's been about. But
well, yeah, and you're touching on something that lives under the surface but is very effective, is the network of where these coaches come from. And as they move on, and it comes back to the cradle of Youngstown and Warren and Youngstown State, and then he goes to Iowa State, but he still has that connection back to the area.
Tressel, Bo Pelini,
Correct.
all those guys.
Correct. So does it make a huge impact?
Nice catch. Down to the 20-yard line.
You know, did the pandemic...
Panunzio again.
Did
Panunzio's had a nice game tonight. 52 seconds to go in the game.
Did the pandemic have a huge impact on recruiting? I'm going to say no, because the kids fought to play, and the state did a good job putting it together, and these kids are still able to put action
41 seconds to go.
Action down on film for
First
coaches
down and
to
10.
see.
Lowry. And they'll muscle the ball down to the 6-yard line. Problem is the clock keeps going. Doesn't matter that he went out of bounds. Logan Torek on the reception. This should be the last play of the game.
It should. And where you would normally see a sense of urgency, this is where you see those two-way players coming in, because the guys weren't exactly running to the line, and they're just tired.
And that'll do it. They want pass interference, but you're not going to get that call. 4, 3, 2, 1. Chardon advances to the Final Four, regional champions here at home in Geauga County. But a tip of the cap to both teams, both coaches, and both schools. Fine effort by both schools, but tonight, Chardon just a little bit more, well, a lot more than Canfield. But that's okay, because Canfield's got a bright future with a young quarterback in Brock Lowry. But I saw just a tremendous game tonight by Drew Fetchick, too. So tip of the cap to all of them, and a tip of the cap to you for watching tonight on Spectrum Stream and the Ohio High School Athletic Association website, OHSAA.org. Your final tonight from here in Chardon. The Hilltoppers, a winner, 38-6. Have a great night. Be a hero, be a real hero, be an organ donor. Lifebank.org. Thank you, Vito.
Thank you, Andy.
Talk to you soon.